The Denver Nuggets have started this season with a statement to prove to the NBA world that they're still the best team in basketball. And I don't know about you, but I think they're making a pretty solid case for it. After 8 games, they are sitting at number 1 in the West with a 7-1 record, only lost to the Timberwolves. I'm starting to believe that this hot start might show signs of turning into a whole hot season.
Oh, for sure. I think everyone expected them to be good, and they're definitely proving that to be true. Right now, they have the third highest point differential in the NBA at plus 10.9, which is number 1 in the Western Conference right now. And they're only one of 2 teams in the entire league who have both a top 10 ranked offense, and they're currently at number 5 right now, and defense at 8th, with the only other one being Boston, who is obviously looking very good as well. And when you got Nikola Jokic doing Nikola Jokic things by putting up 28, 13, and 8 while shooting 63% from the field and 39% from 3, you're going to be good, and he's creating a ton of opportunities per usual for everybody else within not only their starting lineup, but even their young guys coming off the bench as well, which is really helping incorporate them into their rotation, which they definitely need. And, he's looking like the MVP right now and doing it while probably still thinking about his horses back in Serbia. So, yeah, it's just hard to believe the guy, what he does at this point, or honestly, not really hard to believe. It just looks so easy for him. And I don't even know if he's getting better at this point, but just by far and away the most impactful guy in the entire league. And with that in mind, everyone in their starting lineup is benefiting from it. Currently, everybody in it is averaging over 10 points per game, and 4 of them are shooting over 40% from 3, with the only exception being Aaron Gordon, who is primarily out there for defense. And no matter what way you want to look at it, they're dominating on both ends of the court right now, and it's hard for any team to keep up with them.
I mean, it just looks so effortless. This team is just so unselfish. Yeah, averaging 30.8 assists per game, which is good for second most in the entire league so far. The Nuggets are extremely good at moving without the ball, running off ball plays to get guys open. And obviously when you run the ball through Jokic, he's just going to get you the ball where you need it, when you need it. If you're moving well, the ball is going to come right to you. So that's just one thing, watching them, and it's just same as last year. It's just such a slow burn, I guess, if you want to say, like Jokic is going to run through it. You guys keep moving, keep running the offense, and you're going to get layups. You watch the games, they're getting layups, all the time. So it's just one of those things that I think is extremely important to kind of talk about. Is a lot of these role players that you say you mentioned how they benefit. It's just when you run through a guy like this, yeah, you're going to get the ball going in the hoop at the layups. You're going to be able to shoot well. It's just that confidence is going to keep brewing. You're going to get that much needed experience as a team overall. And yeah, he, like you say, the most impactful player in the league. And to me, it's just extremely impressive. You talk about the rest of the roster, Michael Porter Jr., he's still kind of doing what he always does, improving his value this season a little bit better, averaging a few more boards than he has ever before at about 8. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope shooting extremely well. That's the thing about this Denver team too, that, they can make plays happen down low, but when they kick it out, the guys are going to knock down the shot. So Pope shooting extremely well from deep like he normally does. Peyton Watson, Christian Braun playing extremely well, fitting into their roles nicely. And yeah, like you said, Aaron Gordon doing his role, getting boards, kind of finishing down low. To me, it's just rolling right now. It looks like they picked up exactly where they left off, and it's impressive.
Yeah, definitely agree, and we were a little bit worried the last time we talked about them about their bench production after losing Bruce Brown Jr., but so far it looks like there really is nothing to worry about. They look good enough to maintain or even sometimes build upon their leads with Nikola Jokic or Murray on the bench or off the court, whatever. Reggie Jackson is giving them pretty good production at about 8 points per game and 3.5 assists per game. Christian Braun might not be shooting the ball that well, but he's upped his per game minutes to about 20 per game, still playing good defense, upped his point per game average to about 8, and all around providing them good energy and a spark off the bench. And then Julian Strawther and Peyton Watson have really had good moments for them so far too. And I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially get more minutes going forward and likely get better as the season goes on. They've both been shooting pretty well. Julian Strawther even had like a 15 to 20 point game in I think his debut or second game, and all around they look like good 3-and-D. They're giving good 3-and-D production off the bench, and it's hard not to flow well within the offense like they have. Everything flows well, even with, obviously a lot more with Nikola Jokic on the court, but in general, they have such good momentum all the time. They have a free-flowing and good motion offense, and it's so easy to incorporate anyone within it, and the young guys are definitely benefiting from it right now. But again, they have by far the best starting lineup in the entire league, not only with the point per game average, everybody averaging over 10 points, but everyone knows how to fill their role perfectly at this point. They're also used to playing with each other, and given that they all stay healthy, it's like, I don't know who can beat them at this point. They're so deadly on offense. They're way above average defensively at this point too. It's just like they have everything put together, and it's so hard to game plan against a team like that.
Well, and then in a game against, on Monday night versus the Pelicans, where, I don't know if you watched too much of it, but at one point in, I think, the second quarter, the Pelicans were up by 20. It was 61-41. And, the Nuggets are down by 20, and it looks like, a game where Jamal Murray's sitting out due to, injury, or just resting. However, it looks like maybe they're not going to be able to get the production that they need. And then, here comes Julian Strawford, who puts up 21 points on 5 for 9 from the three, or 8 for 13, I believe, in total field goal. And, just the young rookie, 29th pick in the draft, comes up and, hits these threes consecutively and gets them on a little run. All of a sudden that 20-point lead turns to, 13 points, and hey, we're back in the game. So, with that little run, who's to say the Nuggets, couldn't be 6-2 right now? And with Jamal out that game, Julian Strawford was given his opportunity in his moment, and he took full advantage of it. The Nuggets organization kind of trusted him, and he showed out. And it's just, when you see mixes of that, especially in the early season, it's just like, man, these guys are going to be deep. Everyone's doing their role, and it's going to be tough to beat them.
No, for sure. And like I said, it's like, it feels like you can incorporate practically anybody into their offense or really even system, and they're going to play well. We're even talking about a rookie here, given that he did play 2 or 3 years of college, so it's not like we're talking about a 19-year-old, but Strawther looked really well in their rotation, and again, I wouldn't doubt if he built upon that and eventually got more minutes. But the main takeaway here is that you can put practically anyone on the court with a guy like Nikola Jokic, and he'll make them look good. And even in general, their entire team, their system, Mike Malone's a great coach. They incorporate everyone to their strengths, and it's not even about hiding their weaknesses per se. Like, they do a really good job at putting everyone in a great position to succeed on the court. Whether that's giving them the ball here and there, like Reggie Jackson right now, they're giving him freedom, or a guy like Christian Brown, having him play, off the ball, cutting, backdoor cuts, catch and shoot, whatever it might be. They do a great job of incorporating everybody within their best strengths in their rotation. And when you got all that paired with, Nikola Jokic, of course, Jamal Murray, and their starting lineup in general, it's so incredibly difficult to beat that team, and even harder to doubt them. And overall, the Nuggets, again, they look dominant and will almost surely be the #1 seed if they stay healthy. And even if they want to, they can make a small move or two at the trade deadline, not that they really look like they need to, and could improve even further.